Now, a couple of examples come to mind when we're discussing the do's and don'ts of interfaith work. I teach a master's level course at McCormick Theological Seminary, and we go out into the field and we visit the houses of worship. And the first thing we do is, before we even go, what are the basic expectations of me? If I go into a gurdwara as a man, should I have my head covered or not? If I go into a mosque as a woman, should I have my head covered or not? And that's an important component. What is the dress code? But one thing that I notice that people do is, it's the easy part of the dress code. The more difficult part is feeling comfortable in the house of worship. Nobody wants to step on another person's toes. Nobody wants to do anything that's wrong that will offend. And then that ends up kind of creating kind of a gap between the visitor and the host. I would suggest just be on your best behavior. Be kind and polite. Ask questions. Be open-minded. Ask follow-up questions. And don't feel as though you are going to put your foot in your mouth. Far from that. What happens when I see my students engaging and talking things over, observing and then asking questions, what they end up doing is feeling more comfortable and understanding what it's like to be a practitioner in that house of worship. And that's an interesting aspect of interfaith dialogue and engagement, because when we get to that level, we are seeing the faith through the other person's eyes, not through our own eyes. And that tends to lead to that greater appreciation of why that person adheres to that faith. Not that we have to agree with it, we don't. But it opens up the door for respecting that other person and their faith. And when there's respect, boy, so many wonderful things come out of that.